Hello, 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 powerful people. Welcome to the More Money with Milan, a show that is a kind of operating manual for having more money without stress, making your money work for you, and creating your best rich life. I'm Milan Lewis, holistic financial independence mentor. People come to me when they get sick and tired of worrying, constantly worrying about money, living paycheck to paycheck, and when they feel ready to grow their money with less stress and less risk. We're going to have a fascinating show today because I'll talk about the last 5 out of 12 practical guiding principles for winning when you face adversity. I derive these guiding principles from the teachings of Stoic philosophers and also frame them using my personal experiences and my awareness. Before we begin, I want to let you know that if you miss the opportunity to attend my masterclass from worrying to winning the money game, and would like to know how to fix the problems that cause you money problems, feel free to message me privately. I may have another fabulous opportunity for you in mind, all right? And let's talk about 12 practical guiding principles for winning when you face adversity, part 3. In the previous episodes of this show, I talked about first 7 guiding principles for winning when you face adversity. You can watch the previous episodes on my YouTube channel, Milan Lewis Channel Wealth. And you can find all of these episodes there. Let's talk about the 8th guiding principle to help you win adversity, which is be okay with your failures. What? Be okay with failures, you may say? Yes, because there are no failures, only feedback. Everybody had experiences that were labeled as failures. I certainly had a few of them. You imagine that if only you didn't make this or that mistake, your situation would be much better today. Should have, could have thinking is quite common, but useless. Absolutely useless. You did what you did because it was best you knew how at that moment. It certainly might be not the best choice, not the best decision, not the best action, but it's done now. You receive the valuable feedback that way, the way you chose was not the right way for you. Time to move on. You probably needed to learn this lesson, and you did. Time to move on. I certainly had to learn this guiding principle the hard way. Okay, next principle is be intentional, compassionate, and patient with others. Nobody is perfect, including you. Sorry, the bad news. It's nature. It's the nature of being human, right? We're not perfect. People have different cultural, sociological, and educational backgrounds. Some had a loving and caring family. Others were raised by a single parent or grandparents. Yet others were orphans. Some are calm and have respectful and professional attitude. Others are abrupt and have inadequate reactions. Regardless of who you are dealing with, you've got to be able to be intentional in your communication. Stay calm and rational when you face others' emotional responses. Regardless of the situation, refrain from lashing out at people. Rage and insult never lead to constructive solutions. You can choose to be patient and compassionate. Okay, next is guiding principle number 10. Appreciate who you are and what you have, as imperfect as you might be. It's fairly common in our culture to envy or compare yourself and your circumstances with others. And we also sometimes strive to emulate those who we admire. Some people imagine that if only they were like XYZ or had what this person has, they would be happy and fulfilled. This kind of thinking pattern is foolish and energy draining. Excuse me. You don't know what this person had to go through to achieve what you want to have or experience. You don't know what pain, failures, losses they experienced in their lives. When you compare, envy, or try to emulate someone else, You disregard your own humility. You don't appreciate your own identity and your own God-given path and purpose in this lifetime. I love the Stoics, that Stoics taught the value of negative visualization so that you could experience a radical appreciation for who you are, what you have, and where you are. Appreciate your life, have your goals, and align your decisions with your values and your goals while leveraging your talents, skills, experiences, and interests. Be the best you can be. Live your best rich life. And we're moving on to guiding principle number 11, accept that everything is temporary. Many people have a problem with changes. They don't like changing places they live in, have a challenging time letting go of former friends or lovers, feel stuck in grief for years after losing a loved one. Stoic philosophers taught to accept that everything, experiences, circumstances, possessions, relationships are temporary. Everything has the beginning and the end. Wealth is created and spent. Friendships are made and lost. Loved ones come into our lives and die. And one day, you will die too. It's human to not be willing to think about endings. It's very sad. It's very unpleasant. And it's very, very hard. I know it firsthand. However, Stoics taught that it's helpful not to shy away from thinking about these things and become accustomed to them. Well, it is really unpleasant to think about any loss, especially loss of a loved ones. Becoming comfortable with the idea makes it less distressful. It certainly helps to cherish the present moment and be better prepared to whatever may come your way. One twist in this principle is that if you experience something really hard and negative, you may find a relief in knowing that this too will pass. With this in mind, life is filled with rich experiences rather than dread ones. It's all about mindset. Okay, finally, the last 12th guiding principle is realize that it could always be worse. If you are in a bad situation right now, acknowledge it and realize that whatever you experience at this moment, it could always be worse. Could always be worse. In Stoic philosophy, negative visualization was used to imagine all the things that could go wrong and how your life situation might take a turn for the worse. Yet, you will survive. It may be difficult, but it is not impossible. The key to weathering any challenging circumstances, any storm in your life, is believing that you will survive no matter what. However bad life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Where there is a life, there is hope, said famous physicist Stephen Hawking, who embodied these words better than anyone else. And here's the bottom line. Stoicism is not about bottling up emotions or being cold or being distant or being a superhuman. Instead, it encourages us to be deeply in touch with our humanity and to seize the day. Stoicism is empowering and entrepreneurial. It teaches that no one can take mastery of the self away from you. No one. It demonstrates that you have amazing inner power over external circumstances, and regardless of the adversities you might be facing, you are able to thrive and win. And that's all for this episode of the More Money with Milan show. Today, we covered 5 last guiding principles in the 12 guiding principles for winning when you face adversity series. And here they are. Be okay with your failures. Be intentional, compassionate, and patient with others. Appreciate who you are and what you have. Accept that everything is temporary, good and bad. Realize that it could always be worse. Thank you very much for watching the show. I truly, truly, truly appreciate your time and your attention. Sign up for my YouTube channel to receive a notification about new episodes of the More Money with Milan show, and watch any previous episodes. I will see you next week.